Hey guys, good evening and welcome to a random Sunday night hangout. See what we got going on here in the chat room. Punching Plugs CF was first into the chat this evening. Greg Knuckles, Jared, Grasshopper Toy, Tina, Cannon Fodder, Michael Campbell, Blue Tube 1000. What is going on, my friend? I don't know if I've ever seen you in the chat. Welcome. Beth Jarvis, Mary Love, hello. Crazy Creasy 7, welcome. And thank you for the comments this week, my friend. I very much appreciate them, and flashing your pans here. Is anybody watching football? Jared, why would anybody be watching football? We're hanging out here in the Relic Room. So I'm going to see if I can get all this stuff straight so I don't have to look at myself in the in the chat. All Metal Mike. So need to finish your driveway so you can get out in the morning. Right on, flashing your pan. Very awesome. This is kind of just a little Sunday night hangout. The wife and the baby are out shopping and taking care of groceries and errands and stuff like that. So we're just going to hang out here in the Relic Room if y'all are cool with that. So I kind of want to do a couple things this evening. Mike, I hope you got to go out and go digging sometime this week. I got to go out and dig with Mike a couple. Leave it up to Matt to get my watch time, brother. Oh, right on, man. Not too much worried about the watch time, but much appreciated, dude. I very much appreciate it. So I got to dig with Mike last week. We had a great time. I wasn't actually able to put a video together of that. So yeah. I'm interested if anybody found anything exciting this week. We've got a couple things, got a couple fun things tonight, including some mail call. I was able to go out digging for a little bit today. And you know what? Some days are better than others, and today was probably one of the others part of the day. I found nice Colt pistol bullet fired. I'm not sure why I find so many fired ones in there. Another 36 caliber fired pistol bullet, which if you look at how like mangled and weird that thing is, there's no way those things flew straight. And then I found one, that's a 57 caliber mini ball. So, you know, that's my day wasn't very good. Probably not digging here in Michigan until April. Gary, I'm sorry to hear that, but there's treasure to be found in other places. Shoe Buckle Bert found a British sling buckle. Bert, if you throw that on the Gone Diggin' Facebook page, I will throw that up in the chat room. Maybe not in the chat, but in the stream. So yeah, the drop mini's not bad. It was a very rough day today. Only got out for a couple hours. Between the nonstop rain and everything else, you know, that's how it goes. Mike said he found a new spot and worked out a few hours converting old maps with new ones and super excited. And you got 600 acres in Amelia. Dude, that's fantastic, man. I don't know if anybody has any overlaying map technology, but I would love to hear about that. Kenny McNamara is here, and he found a script A, and we're not talking to Kenny anymore because all he finds is Confederate buttons. Old Dominion Diggers, what is going on, my friend? Nice to see you here. So 19 folks here hanging out. 5 Roman groats last week and only musket balls and loads of buttons today. So maybe you can throw in the chat room what a Roman groat is. I have no clue what that is. I know it's a coin, but is it like what? Is it like a fractional coin? Is it a full size coin? I don't know. Brian's having snow in the mid-Ohio Valley, itching to hit a few new sites. Nice, man. Dude, there's all kinds of history in Ohio. Clutch Guitars, what is going on, my friend? Nice to see you hanging out in the live stream. It's been fantastic. I've been seeing you all over the internet with some advertisements and stuff like that. Right on, my friend. So while we're hanging out here this evening, I would encourage each of you to go through the other channels that are here making comments and go over there and show some support and say hi on their channels. There's a lot of really good content here. So, you know, Shane, Shoebuckle Bert, Crazy Creasy 7, who has found a Roman hoard, and he's going to tell us all about that one day. A Roman groat is a small, crusty Roman coin. That's pretty cool, man. I wanted to do a couple mail call kind of things this evening. Punch and Plugs put up a new video this morning. That's... Oh, hey, Christian. Sorry, man. Hey, you need to get your own YouTube handle. So, Christian, I'm sorry, my friend. Oh, Huntress Kimmy's here as well. Beth Jarvis, did the wind blow you away today? No, but actually the reason that I stopped digging today is because I had a very large tree come down within about 50 or 60 feet from me, and I said, that is enough. I think it was a very large pine tree, so heck yeah, go support Huntress Kimmy and Claude Hopper Scott. If you've never seen their channel, it's fantastic. Jonas found his first big copper on Friday, a hold in the center 1842 U.S. large cent. Awesome. Did I check under it before I left? No. Uh-oh. There we go. We got all kinds of stuff going on. J Mart, West Stringer. We're jumping. I did not check underneath it, Mike, because I had soiled myself a little bit because it was so close. But let's do a couple mail call things. A lot of folks know Missouri Mike from Digging with Plugmaster Ford. Missouri Mike does some really cool things with models and stuff like that. And I got a piece of mail today, or actually 2 days ago, and it said, here's some camp lead brought back to life, Missouri Mike. Mike lives in Missouri, but he digs camp lead when he comes here to Virginia, to some of the Diggin' in Virginia events and some other Civil War hunts. And apparently Mike has gotten into taking his Civil War era camp lead. And for folks who don't know, camp lead is it's the lead that was cast aside while casting bullets like this in the field. And Mike, he makes these. Check that out. That is a, let's see if I'll put my hand behind it. That is a little soldier made from Civil War era lead that he painted and sent to me in the mail. So how cool is that for the relic room? Yeah, that's really neat. So even though this lead was mined and used at one point in time for bullets for fighting each other, it's now essentially a really neat personal little relic. So who else popped in here? Precision Angling, what's going on, my friend? Nice to see you. I met Precision Angling over at Husa Studios, I think that's right, and ASAP Fishing, him as well. So yeah, Mike does an incredible job with these things. These are really neat. He hand paints them. I guess he casts them himself. I don't know. I guess he has a lead soldier mold. But if Mike pops in, you know, this is going to be in the relic room. So Mike Campbell is here still, and since we're here with Mike will be happy to know that a certain coin that I found this year. Oh, this thing will not stay up. There we go. A certain coin I found this year got Find of the Year over on Dirt Pirates Detecting on Facebook. I don't know if, and a lot of folks know Barb Connell. She has a very nice Facebook group with lots of finds and very interactive content. But she has a lot of interesting folks who post finds, and she does a monthly find of the month and all of that cool stuff. But I won the find of the year with one coin. But in that, I won a, what is this? An 1852 Benjamin half dollar. And I kind of pulled off some of the tape on it. So, and I won a nice silver certificate, 1857B. Does anybody know what the B's for on a silver certificate? So a couple more people jumped in. We Dig Metal Detecting. Andy, what is going on, my friend? Nice to see you. I saw somebody else. Dave Carlisle, nice to see you here as well on a Sunday evening. You're sharing this feed. Huntress Kimmy, thank you very much for doing that. So, yeah, that's kind of what we got going on. What other exciting stuff do I have? If anybody else has any exciting finds, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to see if I can throw those up on the Facebook page. One person wants to join. We're going to add them. Approve. There we go. Punch and plugs. I threw you into the Gone Diggin' Facebook page. Let's go over here to the group. Tell you what, we're gonna. I'm gonna slide everybody over there. So, Mike, what is going on, my friend? Nice to see you. We're just hanging out here on a Sunday evening. Gone Diggin' Facebook page. Let's slide this over. Boom. There it is. We've got some cool stuff going on over here. We have added 11 new members in the last week. And we've got some really neat stuff. Terry has been sharing his cache he found. And I don't know if you guys have seen this. Randy and Angie Rowland are sharing their finds, some nice Civil War bullets. Dave Creel's showing some finds here. Check out that. Benjamin Cummins showing off his sweet Gone Diggin' shirt. Dave Creel wants to know if anybody's got a lucky hat. Does anybody have like a lucky, like, do you have something you have to wear every time you go metal detecting? That's second run in the series. Very cool. VA Basser, what is going on, my friend? Ben Diggin' VA, nice to see you. So, does anybody have like one article of clothing that is their lucky item? Me personally, if you guys seen my videos, you know that I have a blue North Face backpack in almost every video I have ever shot. It doesn't matter if I'm traveling 5 feet from the car or 5 miles from the car. or truck, I'm always wearing that backpack. And I'm a little disappointed because some of the zippers are getting wore out. But it is my lucky backpack. There you go. California Gold Rush. Adam is here. What is going on, Adam? Go over and check out Adam's stuff. Broken Coral's here. Mike Lyman says that he has a Stealth Digger wristband. Mike, have you ever experienced bad luck when you weren't wearing that? Your lucky underwear. I don't want to know anything about those, Mike. But Adam, nice to see you pulling some gold. That's awesome, man. Absolutely fantastic. So, Crazy Creasy says he has a 4-leaf clover stuck on the back of a surf shop sticker. Took it the day I found the hoard, and it's been in my phone case ever since. If I found a hoard or any sort of cash, I would be wearing everything I wore that day the entire time. You know. Chinese food. How could you ever find enough gold to pay for Chinese food the night before every time you went out digging, man? That would be nuts. But I do like the fortune cookie. I'm a big like superstition fortune cookie person. If I have Chinese food, I have to. Whoever orders Chinese food, they have to have their own Chinese fortune. LOL at the subscribe sign behind me. What's wrong with that? That's a nice sign, isn't it? What else? We have something else I wanted to share. Here's what I'm going to share. This is another part of Terry's cash that he found. Check out all of these Morgan dollars. How would you like to find that many silver dollars in one hold? Now, I get it. It's not a Roman hoard, but man, those dates are all over the place. 1884, 1879, 1882. There are some uncommon dates in there. That is absolutely crazy. So, man, that is absolutely awesome. How about another look at it? So cool, man. So cool. There you go. Did he give me one? No, he didn't. But you know what? That's all right. So I couldn't imagine finding that many silvers in one horn. I've never found a silver dollar. I hope to one day. For me, I mean, that would be an incredible find. I think for most of us, whether you live anywhere you live in the world, to find a true silver dollar like that would be really neat. Let's see what else we got going on the Gone Diggin' Facebook page. It's been jumping in the last couple weeks. Last week, really. I have another going. Oh man, we've been sharing on the page. We've been sharing pictures of abandoned house sites. If you want to jump over there and share, if you have a cool old abandoned house and you wouldn't mind that being used for a thumbnail for a video, that would be awesome. Shoebuckle Bert said he's been digging for 40 years and only found one silver dollar. Jay, man, if you're showing the girlfriend how to dig, and she wants her own metal detector, that may be more than a girlfriend. You may want to consider locking that thing up. Long-term commitment. General Lafayette silver dollar. That's cool, man. What else? Oh, so we've been hanging out for a little while. So I kind of want to run a video idea by everybody here hanging out in the chat. So I've been considering this as an idea. I'll show you guys these. I have 3 of these. All 3 of these pinpointers have something in common. Anybody got an idea? That one has no serial number. These 2 have serial numbers. But the one thing that they all have in common is they have some sort of defect to them. Not defect, but use. Check the hole we've put in that one. Nothing to do. They all false like crazy. I like that. Nope. This one, look at that one. They all have something that needs to be repaired on them. So I'm going to call my friends at Garrett and see what we can do about getting these returned and repaired. Do you think that that's something that would be interesting for a video? That's what I'll ask. I've probably sent back 2 Garrett carrots so far, and it's not because they break. This one right here is the one I used all last summer, and it's starting to wear a hole right here, much like this one. That one has a hole, and if you put that one in the water right now, it will probably be done for. This one, this is probably one of my favorite tools. This pinpointer is one of my personal ones, and I've taken it to 35 feet underwater. Now, I know what you're saying. These things are only rated for 10 feet underwater, and probably 95% of the people that use the Pro Pointer are not running it at 10 feet underwater. So, you know, this is, I love this thing. It's fantastic. 35 feet is nuts. That's 25 more feet than what it's supposed to do. So Brian says they make cover protectors for the tip of it, but I mean, man, if you can see that thing, I don't know, we would wear those things out right and left. We're not digging with them. So Mike says he's got 30,000 holes on his and still running strong. Mike, I'd be interested if you join the Gone Diggin page, see what the end of yours looks like. Is it wore out like this? Or maybe we just have poor technique. I don't know. So Diggin with Deej said, so when you send something back to Garrett, do you send a note with your item? Or do you call them first? I would go over all that stuff in the video if it's something worth doing. You know, you guys let me know. I have 2 or 3 carrots, and I have two. I know I have 2 of these, the original Pro Pointers, and these are fantastic. If anybody ever digs in Culpeper, this is the pinpointer you want in mineralized ground. These do not false as bad as these. You have to run these at the lowest setting. So yes, do the video. All right, done, J-Mart, done with that one. They're probably not going to cover this one as a warranty, but you know, whatever. That's okay. Well, that's a good selection of them, I think, to make a video. So, Vince from Holland, nice to see you, my friend. Glad to see you in the chat. So Mike says he has 2 pinpointers and he sold a second to a butt. I personally ground balance my pinpointer every time I use it. I'm used to using mine in very mineralized soil, so especially with these, if you don't ground balance these in the on the ground, you will have them false all over the hole. And then I will ground balance. I will turn mine on, get a target, and then I will bump it. And that'll actually allow me to get it a little more sensitive to my target. I don't know if that made sense. So if I got a target, see how close it is there versus bumping it all the way back here? And it's very sensitive. I don't know. So that's what I do. Everybody, I think, does a little bit different. So Punch and Plug says he's going to post the junk he dug last week. Awesome. Awesome. That's pretty much all I had to go over for this evening hangout. Other than hoping that everybody in the chat would share. If anybody's interested in giving a call in. Mike, what are you doing? You want to call in and hang out? Hit me up. So it's anyone have a sure, sweet. All right, I will open the call manager and I will drop that in for you, Mike. And if anybody else wants to come and hang out, we'll allow it. We're not picky. We don't care. Boom. There you go, Mike. Jump in the live stream here. It'll be a lot of fun. Oh, there's my beautiful wife. Hi, wife. Nice to see you, love. So, if anyone sees a little blue wrench there, that is my beautiful wife who's hanging out with my beautiful daughter. So, Thin Blue, nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. There we go. We're going to see if Mike can jump in here. I think, yeah, you can do it on your phone. Just do it on, just put it in your browser, whether that's Safari or whatever it is. Generally Safari or Google Chrome will work fine. You just put that vMix call and throw that password in there and we'll pull you right on up here. So, Exploring Indiana, nice to see you, my friend. You got choked up a little there. Yeah, I love that. Man, having a baby is something special. Good God. You know, Brotherhood Metal Detecting, nice to see you. That is awesome. It's something that, you know, people tell you about it, but you don't know what to expect. And she is really cool. So, I love it. We're going to see if Mike jumps in here. Let's see. I think I can copy and paste that again. Copy. Wait till you have 2 kids. We're going to work on the one for a while. Wait till I have teenagers. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we'll do the one. I know teenagers. I don't even want to think about. It's pretty interesting that if that somebody told me as their children were growing up, they said, "Man, I wish they were a little bit older so they could do this. I wish they could do a little bit. They were a little older so they could do this." And then one day they realized that they were wishing their children's lives away, that they would be so much older at each step. Well, and that made a lot of sense to me. And honestly, I'm so happy just to have such a beautiful, healthy girl that I could never ask for anything more. So I'm going to focus on life of enjoying one step at a time. You know, enjoy one step as we go, and then that's what it is. So it'll be fun. J Mart has 6 kids. You got to get caught up. Les, thank you for joining. Very awesome. I'm glad to see you. If anybody's interested in joining the chat, calling in and hanging out, we will do that. We'll roll through the old Facebook page and see if we have anything new that's popped up real quick. There you go. We're just hanging out on a Sunday evening. Not really a whole lot going on. 3 people. All right. We are going to approve all. Boom. Confirm. All right. Google Hangout. No, Mike, use this website. It's vmixcall.com, and then chunk that password in there, and you're good to go. Just above there. So, what was I going to say? Oh, I've got a great live stream on Tuesday. Tuesday we'll be back. We'll be doing Tuesday, Monday as it goes. But this week I have something really cool. Alan Driver, I think is his last name. Alan, if you see this and I'm butchering it up, I'm sorry. Alan runs Holy City Charters out of Charleston, South Carolina. And he runs diving charters that look for these. This is a juvenile megalodon tooth. And he is really successful. He's been on some great, awesome shows. Jonathan Bird's Big Blue World. I don't know if anybody has ever seen his YouTube channel. But it's really cool. He's going to talk about diving for shark teeth, megalodons, vertebrae, prehistoric fossils, everything that can be found underwater. And he has a great charter right out of Charleston, South Carolina. And he's going to talk all about these things. That's going to be Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then I have some really awesome other guests coming up. I have Alan's going to be a great guest because, like Finders Keepers, I love talking about shark's teeth and finding them. I don't know a lot about them, but that's why I do the live stream. We all get to learn together. This isn't necessarily metal detecting, but you know what? To me, it's all treasure hunting. Oh, punching plug CF. Let's see if we're gonna make this work. You think you connected? I see punching plugs in there. We'll see what happened. What name? Just put your own name in there. What? Yeah. I see. We got a couple. There's Mike. All right, we'll get you in here, punching plugs. Let me see if I can bring Mike in. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. M.A. Lyman. Are you there, Mike? Oh, let me bring up his... Oh, I see Mike. Oh, we got some technical issues. We're doing this on the fly. Yeah, we're gonna make this work. I tell you what, Santa. I tell you what, punching plugs. We're gonna bring this up. Call manager. Here you go. Santa. Hey. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we're going to try it. Use that one, punching plugs. We'll see if that works. Believe it or not, we have shark's teeth here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. Very cool, man. Dude, it's funny where you can find fossils at, and that's another thing. I really don't know very much about it. Finders Keeper says it's better than metal detecting. It replenishes itself. I guess, yeah, right? These things keep coming out of the banks, and that's it. This is one that I found last summer on the bottom of a river. I'm pretty happy with that one, but I want to find one huge, huge one. Hello, it's on. Connected? I think you're there. Let's go over here. There you go, punching plugs. What is up?
What is up?
Let me get my audio straight. You here?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know if it's working.
All right, yeah, we're working. Let me get you up into the stream. You guys give me just a second, and we're gonna do.
I told you I had my shirt on, so.
That's right. That's right. Multi-view. Let's go ahead and knock that one off, and we're gonna add punch and plugs. Check that one. All right. Boom. Man, we're doing this on the fly. How about that?
There you go.
Boom, there you are. How about that? What is up, my friend? So introduce, this is Punching Plug CF. He has a YouTube channel.
My name's actually Scott, by the way.
Yeah, this is Scott. And Scott won my 1,500 subscriber giveaway. Even though, dude, I'm awfully, terribly sorry about how long it took me to get out, but between holidays and baby and all that stuff.
I knew you had just had a baby, so I know how that goes. I'm 3 deep. So mine are a little bit older than yours, but I get it.
Yeah, it was. I did a giveaway on one of the other Facebook groups that I have, which is GPX Crazy Creasy. If you go to MindLab GPX users, that's also my Facebook group. So join there for learning about your 4500. But Adventure Archaeology jumped in the chat. But Scott, so you've been doing YouTube for a little while, right? Did we lose him? I know we lost Mike. There we are.
There we go.
Yeah, we had a little bit of break. So how long have you been doing YouTube for?
I actually only started a channel probably 4 months ago.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy of mine. He's got a channel called Treasure Jack. He's got about 1,600 subscribers. And I started hunting with him recently. And he's like, dude, he goes, you're finding all kinds of good stuff. He goes, you really need to post it on YouTube. So that's why I started recording some of the things that I do on my phone and started putting stuff up. So it's just kind of a labor of love because I enjoy digging. I enjoy finding the history of the stuff and putting it up there for other people to see.
Yeah, man. I think that's why we all started, right? You know, the goal is to hopefully be old enough so that, one, we don't remember it, or two, we get to pass it down to somebody else, right?
I tell people all the time, my goal is one day I'll have grandchildren and I'm going to hand them a couple of books full of some old coins that they're going to have no idea what they are. And that'll be interesting, hopefully, to them. As interesting as it is to me to find this stuff now.
And you know what? And you know what's even cooler about that is they'll probably have a book full of old coins and a whole library full of videos to watch.
And that's probably true. I mean, I find so much interesting stuff. I don't record everything that I find, and when I do wrap-ups at the end of my videos, I kind of put some of the stuff in that I don't record because I don't want to make the videos an hour long. I want to keep them under about 10 to 12 minutes generally. But yeah, it's just I love going out and seeing everybody else's videos. I've been watching everybody else's videos for a year now, and I never had my own channel, never put anything out there, and just recently started doing that, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, man? There's some. I hate to brag about my own channel because my channel is cool, but there's some incredible content in the chat room. I mean, Brandon Adventure Archaeology, Deep Digger Duo, Mike Lyman. I mean, there are some really cool stuff. Finders Keepers. I mean, all these guys have they all have great channels. And I don't know about you, but I find it sometimes very difficult to keep up with everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, my channel's not very big. I've got like 85 subscribers. I maybe get 40, 45 views a video. So I respond to every single person that posts on my videos. And I know some of the bigger channels can't do that. There's a couple of the guys you just mentioned who have decent sized channels who do that, though. And they actually come on my videos and say stuff. Deep Digger Duo is great. Every time I post a video, he says something to me about it. And it's not just great dig. He's actually watching the videos. So there are people like us who love the hobby, enjoy it. We spend time on YouTube looking at all the stuff that other people find, because I know I get as much enjoyment out of seeing other people find stuff as I do the stuff that I'm finding. So yeah, I mean, I think the first video I ever saw of yours, Matt, you were with a couple other guys. You guys were on a river. You got in a boat. You were in a wetsuit. You guys are digging button after button after button. I'm like, dude, this is cool, because we don't have anything like that around here.
Yeah. So where are you from?
I actually live in Winter Springs, Florida, about 3 miles from where Kellyco just closed down. So most of my hunting is done right here in Central Florida. That's what the CF stands for in the punching plug.
Oh, okay. I'm going to drop your channel in the chat real quick.
Oh, I got you. I appreciate it.
But yeah, you know, it's yeah, and that's cool, man. But you know what you have? You have history that I don't have. Especially in Central Florida, you have Seminole Wars, you have Spanish forts. Like, dude, you know, if you want to come dig a bullet or a button, come on up. But, dude, I would love to come to Central Florida and get on one of those really cool fort sites.
Well, what you also have to realize, though, is I moved here from St. Augustine. St. Augustine is the oldest city in the nation.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to dig. The archaeologists feel like they own every piece of ground that's in the area, so you can't dig anything there. There are a couple of forts here. You can't go on the fort locations, but you can hunt at the houses that are around the fort. And I've found, you know, eagle buttons from the 1830s eagle button, like a cuff button. I do find, I think in the video that I posted this morning, I found a couple of, I call them musket balls. They were really pistol balls, but I'm quite sure they're from that time period. They're, you know, round lead. There's no other reason for them to be there. And I'm 3-4 blocks over from where the fort used to be. So yeah, I mean, there's stuff out there. I'm not going to be digging 1,600 coins like some of these guys do.
Yeah.
But, you know, I found an 1883 Indian head penny this morning. Yesterday, I found a 1904 Mexican penny, which basically is their version of an IHP. So that was kind of a bucket list I didn't even know about, but it was interesting, and it was a really cool looking coin because it did have an eagle on it. I kind of freaked out when I dug it out of the ground.
I'm going to get deep. To share your channel. You know what, and that's cool. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff, and like I take that into a big consideration when I look for sites, even though it may be locked up by Park Service or conservation or whatever it is. You know, like, I think that's smart. Like, man, knocking on doors of houses that surround those areas, because you know those folks were there. They spent time around those forts. They used them as protection, but they got bored and they left. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, what I find here is there are a lot of people that metal detect in this area. There's a huge club here in Central Florida, and I'm not part of the club. It is not anything against anybody in the club, but it's just more of a social thing. And I started doing this on my own. I did meet a buddy that I metal detect with every weekend. We go out on Saturdays and detect with. We get along really well. We both enjoy the hobby. We both have similar approaches to the way that we do things. And so we enjoy going out on the weekends and doing that. But, you know, we don't expect to go out and find, you know, like I said, 1,600 or 1,700 houses. We're digging areas that most of the houses are 1900s to 1950s, and we're still finding stuff that's older than that at those locations just because the ground's old and people have been there for so long. And that's, so many people forget that, you know, hey, you can walk on a 1950s house and find something from 1800. You know, they just forget that there were people there before that house was there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's really cool, man. I really like that. And it's cool because you're in such a different part of the country to, you know, to make all of this stuff happen. But you use the resources you have at your disposal and the research and the knowledge to really make it the best possible outcome for you. And that's all you can do. And like you said, if you're digging 1950 silver, I mean, to me, that's as cool as digging anything else. You know,
yeah.
That meant something to the person that dropped it in 1950.
Yeah, and I find that personal items to me are some of the most interesting things. You know, I dig a lot of dog tags in my videos, and I intentionally put them up because that was somebody's pet. I went on a lady's property in 1950, I think it was 1959 house. And she had lived there since 1959. I found a 63 and a 64 dog tag. She knew what dogs they were off of, and I was able to give them back to her. And that meant more to her than the 2 Mercs and the Rosie that I found in her yard. She didn't care a thing about those coins, but she cared about those 2 dog tags, and there's no value to them, but I was able to give them back to her. But you're right. The difference that I see, the part that I enjoy about YouTube is that we get to see inside the history of each area that we're watching. You're digging totally different stuff than I'm digging. My brother lives in Mississippi, just outside of Tupelo, and I go up and I went and dug with him. We went up and we were digging Civil War bullets. I dug an 1851 Allegheny Arsenal belt buckle. You know,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was missing the eagle and the wreath, but I can send you a picture of it if you want. But yeah, I went up there and we were digging totally different things than I dig down here, and I watched different people in different areas and see the different things they dig, and that's just so interesting to me. And that's one of the reasons why I've got so many different people that I follow on YouTube, and a lot of my spare time I'm sitting here just watching channels, enjoying the history of what people are finding.
Yeah, and that's neat. I mean, and if you really consider it, I mean, I don't know about you, but like somebody like me, I watch Huntress Kimmy and Claude Hopper Scott. I watch Chill Bill. I watch. There's a pile of channels in the UK that I watch. Who's the real muscly guy I watch all the time? I Detect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and it's neat. It allows you to get into history that you have nothing about, know nothing about.
I watched Bastion's channel, the 925 Finder. You know, he's up in Canada, and a guy by the name of Gaffelbab. I've followed his channel for a long time, and enjoy watching them. And again, they're digging something totally different than us too. And you look at they dig a Canadian large cent, and you're like, okay, well that's very similar to what our Indian head pennies would be because of the time frame. You know, but I enjoy all of it. I think it's cool. Some of the relic stuff that we see come out of the ground. Trying to think of some of the things that my buddy Jack yesterday dug this huge star, and it said Cupper Bush Hotel, Palatka, Florida. And we looked all over the place online. We couldn't find anything on it. It's got to be some little mom and pop hotel from the late 1800s, and it's a part of the Palatka history. He's going to contact the museum over at Palatka and see if they know anything about that particular hotel. But that's the other part of it is we dig in the ground, but we also dig on the internet and find the information about all the stuff that's out there, and we learn. And that's so much fun to me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's so different because you think you go out and you find something and that's it. But it's not. It's the research of the item if you don't know what it is. It's the preservation of the item. It's the documentation of the item. And it's so much more than just going outside and digging up a hole. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people do that, and there's nothing against that. But for me, I think that's the really interesting thing. Mike Lyman said, "What's the oldest dog tag you found?"
The oldest I have is 1932, I believe. Believe it or not, I did a wrap-up video for all the stuff that I found this year, and I did have a bunch of dog tags. Unfortunately, at the end of it, I miscounted my silver, and I just didn't go back through and make a new video. So I didn't post the year-end wrap-up video, but I need to. But 1932 is the oldest dog tag that I have.
Very cool, very cool. Who did I see? So Finders Keeper says, "This dude's cool as hell. You need to go click the bell for his vids." Absolutely, man.
Well, I've only been detecting for a year and a half. I started I moved from St. Augustine. I loved the saltwater fish when I was in St. Augustine. When we moved to Orlando, they don't have any saltwater here, and I just don't like freshwater fishing.
Right.
So I bought a Delta 4000 for $150 on Craigslist and started coin shooting parks, and I just loved it. And about Christmas time last year, I bought a Garrett AT Gold with a little bit on it. And I bought it for $400 from a guy up in Jacksonville off Craigslist, and started detecting. And I bet I have 500 and something hours on that machine. I've got 3 different coils on it. I've spent some good money on my digging tools to make sure I'm digging good plugs and to put stuff back and make the homeowners happy and not upset that I was digging in their lawns. And it's become a passion. It's something that I really, really, really enjoy. And we were talking earlier about looking stuff up. I dug that belt buckle in Mississippi. I had no idea what it was. It's just a big green plate. And I looked on the back of it, and it said U.S. Allegheny Arsenal. And the more investigation I did, I realized that, dude, they only made those 1 year. They made them in 1851 in Allegheny, Pennsylvania. I found the tag here. The guy that I hunt with, Jack, I found the tag, and it said Clyde Lines Steamliner, and then it said Frederick J. DeBerry on the bottom, or Frederick K. DeBerry on the bottom of it. Come to find out, Frederick DeBerry, there's a town here in Orlando called DeBerry, Florida, and he owned 5 steamships that traveled from Jacksonville to Sanford and would take people back and forth and drop them off. They would get on the railroad in Sanford and then go into Orlando and other surrounding areas. And one of his steamships was called the Frederick DeBerry. That particular boat was commissioned in 1895 and ran from 97 to 1915, and that was a luggage tag off of that boat. Well, come to find out, that boat sunk 3 different times, was rebuilt, was commissioned to go into the Navy once he died, and actually set in the harbor in New York Harbor when the Statue of Liberty was put into commission. You think about the history of this little plate that I find in a field, and it's like, dude, that's a story. That's something that I can tell my kids and my grandkids about for years to come.
Right. And I mean, that's the hunt right there, right? It's not, right. It's so much more than just finding that. And you're like, what the heck is that? That's incredible, man. That is really cool. Very cool. But, man, that's what the history is. And you can pop into stuff. So I guess, you're a saltwater guy. So were you ever curious about seeing guys walk up and down the beach in St. Augustine?
At the time, I was actually doing most of my fishing inshore, like in the intercoastal.
Right.
I didn't have a boat, so I was wade fishing, so I was waist deep in the water, and the only thing they ever asked me is if I was worried about sharks. And I was like, I don't taste good, so I'm not worried about it. So, but I caught a lot of flounder and trout, and it was very minimalistic fishing. Just a 6-foot rod, small spinning reel, bait bucket on a stringer type thing. And I loved doing that. But when we moved down here, I just had to find something else to do to take up my time to kind of keep me in shape. I mean, I'm 44 now. If I sat on a couch all the time, I'd be 280 pounds. So getting out of the house.
Yeah, it wouldn't take long. A few beers a day and a half a pizza, and you'd be there in no time, right?
No kidding. Mike made the comment. He said he dug over 3 years. He's dug 30,000 holes. Well, I guarantee you, I probably dig 400 holes a week. I go out 3-4 times a week, and I bet I dig 400 holes a week. That's 26,000 up and downs every year. That's a lot. And I'm probably my lower half of my body is probably in better shape than I was 15 years ago.
Yeah, and I mean that's something we don't think of. We don't think of many times about like the actual physical exercise. I mean, it doesn't take much to. I mean, I know Florida summers are hot. How do you manage that?
This summer was brutal. There were times when it was 102, 103 degrees, and you can't detect but about an hour. I literally would go out. I have, the Yeti cups that will keep out them all day long. I had 2 of those. I'd fill them with ice, and I'd bring 2 gallons of water, and I'd literally go through both gallons of water in 2 hours.
I'm sure.
So, and I think in my very first video that I ever posted, you hear me complaining about I'm dripping sweat on my phone as I'm trying to talk and record stuff. You hear me go, well, you can't see the sweat that's on my phone. But, yeah, it was coming off my forehead, dripping everywhere. It was brutal this summer. And my brother is now complaining because, again, he's in Mississippi. He texted me this morning. He's like, it's 29 and it's kind of rainy and it's very windy today. And I'm like, dude, it's 65 here. It's beautiful. I'm going to Texas.
Somebody said coldest day in a month. My buddy Brandon in Alabama with a high, so 39. I'd be interested to know, whoever's in the chat, what's the actual coldest temperature you've ever detected in? I probably hit my coldest, and that was probably in the low 20s. But I mean, you probably don't have much of an issue with that kind of stuff.
No, I mean, over the winter it does get a little chilly. You hear people make the statement about whether it's the difference in the cold here because it's so damp. It is very humid, and when it gets down in the mid 30s here, the temperature feels much colder here than it does in other places. And I can speak to that. I mean, I've been to Colorado in shorts and a T-shirt, and it'd be snowing.
Right.
And because it's so dry out there, it feels different. Here, the wind just blows through you when it gets cold. So, yeah, if it gets down in the 40s here, it can be pretty brutal. But we don't get that very often. I think we only had a couple of days this year that was probably too cold for me to go detecting, and I was probably dumb enough that I was out there doing it anyway.
So it's interesting in the chat. So somebody, Diggin with Deej, says it's 3 degrees right now. Mike Lyman said 17 degrees, 15 degrees, -3 degrees. But I don't know if that's Celsius or Fahrenheit. Either way, it's really cold. What is it there?
Can you see that?
It's 58 degrees. Nice. It'll be 14. Flash in your pans back. He says it's -12. Oh, Jimmy Cloak says it's -12 degrees in Canada right now. 11. Probably the teens is probably the lowest I've been, but it was very short lived. I would also be interested to know what the hottest temperature you've ever dug. Scott said he's dug at 102. I know here in Virginia I've dug in the triple digits. I think 101 with 90-some% humidity. Now I do that all the time now since I've been hanging out in the water. That's not that big of a deal. And for you guys who are just jumping in, it's Punching Plugs CF on YouTube. Go over and check Scott's channel out. He's at 90 subs. We're trying to get him to 100. How about that?
There you go.
I think we could do it. I think with the help of the folks in the chat. Absolutely.
That's the back of that buckle, U.S. Allegheny Arsenal.
Oh man, that's cool. That's really.
There was. It's supposed to have a German reef and a and an eagle on the front of it. It's a 3-piece buckle, and both of those were missing. But sure as the world, it was hitting 87 at 4 inches, and I just knew it was going to be a Coke can. And I dug it out from amongst a bunch of roots, and I pulled that out. And when I read the back of it, I just started shaking. It was the find of my life at the time.
I mean, still something that I dream about. So I have a clear belt plate I've dug like that as well, but it's not punched. It's not stamped Allegheny Arsenal.
Right.
You know, and it's 3-piece, but I think mine. Flash in your pants. If you can't find them in search, I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the. I'm going to get it. There we go. Oh, there we go. You're 91. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the stream. You guys go over and check out his channel. Let's get him to 100. I hope that works. Let's double check that worked. There we go. Very cool. That is up and rolling. I think everything else is good. So yeah, go check out Scott's channel. That's a neat find, man. That's really neat. But yeah. So what else besides metal detecting you do and fishing?
I work and I deal with my kids. You got a new one. I've got a 18-year-old that's 6'5", 240. I've got a 16-year-old that's 6 foot 10 inches tall. We're trying to get him, a little bit better in basketball where he can get a scholarship. And I've got a 13-year-old daughter that looks like she's 17, and fortunately she has 2 really big older brothers. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I deal with the kids and work and do all that. So
very cool, man. Well, this has been a pretty spontaneous, Sunday night hangout as things go. You'll be knocking down close to 100 here in no time.
And I appreciate it. And I didn't mean to take up the whole time. I'm sure.
Dude, not at all, man. I think that's the cool part about what YouTube's about. We have 27 folks that are just here hanging out with us. And I wish I could put them all on here at the same time, but unfortunately we can't do that.
Yeah.
But I think that's cool, man. I love it. If you ever have, you're right in Orlando, you ought to catch up with my buddy Gary Pence's sometimes.
Absolutely. I would. I'm always looking to hunt. I probably hunt 4 times a week. My job just allows me to get out sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. I'm usually free on Saturdays, so that's why I hunt with my buddy on Saturdays. But yeah, I try to get out, hit different areas. I do a lot of research. I try to network. Believe it or not, I've started making friends with guys that are in demolition. They're tearing down a lot of these homes that are in the 30s and 40s in downtown Orlando. And these homes, as the contractors get the contracts for demolition to demo these homes, they kind of take over that lot. And I've got a couple of guys that send me the information when these homes come up, and I get to go out and detect these places. And so, yeah, there's so many different routes that you can take to find places to dig. And it's just a matter of figuring out what works in your area.
That's right. The people who say there's nowhere left to dig are the people who aren't looking.
That's absolutely right. And I can't tell you how many times. The place that I hunted today has been hunted before several times. And, hey, buddy, my son just walked in. It's been hunted several times. I found the Indian head. I found that Mexican penny. I found a 1920s Merc. I found a bunch of stuff there. And it's, the conditions change. Detectors are different. There's always going to be stuff in the ground. It's just a matter of getting out and finding it and being persistent with it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Um, well, dude, we've knocked down an hour very easily. So yeah, all metal mic says networking's key. Business cards work. You have my friend knocked down over 100 subs this evening, so that is very
That's
cool as
awesome.
well.
I
Stoked about
appreciate it.
that. So
I really just wanted to say thank you for sending me the shirt and the sticker. I put the sticker right on the front of my AT Gold. So anybody that sees me detecting is going to ask me about Gone Digging. And the case is actually sitting in the corner of my living room right now because I hadn't figured out what I want to do with it. My dad, believe it or not, the week before you told me that I'd won that case, he gave me 2 cases to put stuff in. And we had done a seeded hunt up in Mississippi before the same time frame that I went up there and found that buckle. There was a seeded hunt. We dug 28. I dug 28, 29 bullets, some silver, some Indians, and some other stuff. And so I put all of those in this big case. So I hadn't figured out what I'm going to do with the other case yet. But as soon as I figure it out, I'll send you some pictures for sure.
yeah, absolutely, man. Throw that on the Gone Digging Facebook group. It's a neat case because it's double-sided, so it leaves you so
Right.
many options of what you could do with it. I have one sitting beside me, and I'm going to figure something out to do with it, but I just thought it was neat, and I thought it was neat because it's old. I guess those things were probably made in the 50s would be my guess.
I'm guessing, yeah, because the way those hooks are on the side,
Yeah.
they're not new because anything that was made new would have hinges. So
That's right. That's right. So, but very cool, man. Dude, I'm so glad you stopped and called in. I'm absolutely. It's been a pleasure to meet you face to face, and thanks for calling in, Scott.
well, like I said, none of my videos actually have my face in them. As everything I do is about the finds that I find. So this is the first time anybody on YouTube has even seen me.
Yes, that's a
But
win.
I appreciate you letting me come in. I know it's a little disconcerting. You got some guy who messages you on the boards, but to have somebody just jump in on chat and them actually kind of represent your channel, I know it's a
Yeah.
little disconcerting, but I'm glad you let me do it. I appreciate it. I've watched a couple of your other live streams. Daryl was awesome on your
Oh,
live
Darnell?
stream.
Yeah, Darnell's
Yes.
off the chain, man. That guy cracks me up.
My brother and I, every time that we find a silver, we're texting each other, "Hello, world! Get up out there, come on out there." So yeah, that live stream with him was awesome, and some of the things that he talked about. So yeah, I learned so much from you guys and the other people on YouTube, and I appreciate you guys. And anything I can do to give back, just let me know.
Oh, dude, anytime, man. Anytime you'd like to come in and we'll keep in touch and we'll have you as a full on guest and we'll feature your channel and we'll do it up right sometime.
No worries.
It's I love this impromptu stuff because it's cool. We get to talk, we get to hang out. It's like there's nothing formal about it. You know what I mean? And there's so many cool folks here hanging out. So. But yeah, man, we're gonna make this happen. We'll do it up right. So
Thank you again for having me. I appreciate anybody that's in the chat. I can't see the chat because I'm on the other page, but everybody have a great evening. Happy digging. I hope everybody finds a bucket lister this week and post it on Matt's Facebook page there so we can all see it. We'll catch you guys later.
right on, Scott. Awesome, man. Dude, how cool is that? So that dude, Scott, random hanging out, punch and plug CF, fantastic. There are some folks who popped in the chat in and out. I didn't didn't get everybody in. Gary 12 Pin, J Mart. Not that informal to sitting around in my underwear, even though you wouldn't know, but I'm not. I'm actually wearing a clown costume from the waist down, big shoes and all. Yeah, so Scott's a great guest, man. We're going to have him back on the show. That will be great. Big props to everybody in the chat, and thank you for showing some love to his channel as well. He does great stuff, and it'll keep growing as time goes on. So Coils of Soul, Jim, hello, my friend. We're winding down an hour random Sunday night live stream. So thanks, Jimmy. I have to throw out a quick shout out to everybody who was here. RNN Recoveries, Crazy Creasy, Greg Knuckles, Flash in Your Pan, Jimmy Cloak, J Mart, Exploring Indiana, Adventure Archaeology, M.A. Lyman, Vince 1648, Coils of Soil, who else? Brian Kesterson, I think I got that right. All Metal Mike, Charlie from Charlie's Risers Treasure Hunting Emporium, great live stream. And he runs his just before mine on Tuesday nights. Wes Stringer, man, there's just too many people to announce. Finders Keepers. Thanks to all you guys for stopping in. Uper Digger, fantastic. Big props to Missouri Mike, Creasiez, and Water Crease. Or Pete. All right, thanks, Pete. Death Spayer's here. Big props to Missouri Mike for the really cool little lead soldiers that he sent me. And to Barb Connell for doing such a great job on Dirt Pirates detecting and sending out the really cool silver. And the apparently second run of a U.S. silver certificate. Yeah, well, Mike is the man. That is really neat. And that is going to go right in that case with my Mini GPX. So, unless you guys got anything else, I think we're gonna call it a night. So, what do you think? I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna call it a night. So upcoming, we're gonna do a customer service review of Garrett. Even though I already know the outcome because they're pretty awesome. Hour. Yep. So, and we are going to have some really awesome live stream guests coming up. Make sure you stop in Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Alan Driver. And we will talk all about megalodons, shark's teeth, and diving. That's Tuesday night. It's going to be a great time. Another video on Thursday, and I may drop a random video sometime this week, somewhere in the middle. Hey, until Tuesday night, I hope everybody has a great week. And if you don't have to work tomorrow, go dig me something good. I will see you Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.